We remember CachyOS would not install before, but a new release arrived, and the blog confirms that the previous installation problem was finally resolved. So we try again to install the distribution, downloading the desktop version dated 2025-11-29 from the official website. This time the CachyOS live session started quickly, loading into the KDE desktop environment, which includes the integrated CalAmers installer tool. Hardware detection worked well, because it recognized my wireless adapter, allowed me to select my network, enter the credentials, and connect without issues. Next it asked for the bootloader option. I chose systemd only to use systemd analyze later, and after that selection the CalAmers installer began to load. We selected the system language, the regional settings, and then the keyboard layout. In my case I chose Latin America as my keyboard configuration option. Then we selected the disk, and since automatic erase was not available, we manually created the UEFI and Xfce partitions for both boot and root sections. It then requested the desktop environment choice. Since I planned to compare Arch-based versions later, I selected Xfce and disabled the option for KDE entirely. After that we entered the full name, the username, the hostname, and the password. Then we confirmed the partitioning and the installation procedure began. I would like to think the previous video helped the team fix the issue and speed up the release, since the earlier problem had been present since August. CachyOS booted for the first time, requested the password, and loaded the newer Xfce desktop environment with the wireless connection already configured. We inspected the desktop, which was a normal Xfce setup without modifications. Then we checked the panel, the menu, and the usual desktop applications. When opening the terminal, Fastfetch executed automatically, which is helpful because it gives us a quick summary of important system information values. We used commands to get the distribution name, the kernel version, the memory usage, and the disk usage, and compared the results with those from Fastfetch. We tested the Y2038 bug, and used systemd analyze to obtain the system boot time, excluding the time measured by the system firmware. The only additional package we need to install is Sysbench, which allows us to run comprehensive performance tests across multiple areas. Next we used Sysbench, starting with the CPU test, checking the single-thread performance and then the 5-thread performance with mathematical operations. We continued with the threads and mutex tests to evaluate concurrent load handling, blocking behavior, and general efficiency of system-level resources. We measured both memory read and memory write using a sequential benchmark to observe how the system manages continuous memory access operations. Then we prepared the required files for the disk input and disk output evaluation and executed the test to determine the storage performance levels. We used the top command to measure how much memory Firefox used with one window open and no extensions, allowing us to observe its initial memory footprint. Then we opened a second tab and loaded a video, and later a third and finally a fourth tab, watching the memory consumption grow with each additional page. After finishing the entire review and evaluation process for CachyOS, we moved on to analyze the results gathered from all the performance tests done. These results are based on comparisons with other distributions. CachyOS is very up to date regarding kernel, packages, and the desktop environment. Its initial memory usage is average, the installation time was high, and the boot time is one of the best among all the distributions tested so far. Single-thread CPU performance was average, but the 5-thread performance was strong. In threads and mutex tests, the first was average while the second excelled. Memory read and memory write performance ranked among the best, while Firefox consumption and disk performance produced overall average measurement values. In conclusion, it is appreciated that the CachyOS team fixed the previous bugs. I could not review it earlier, but now the result is a very solid distribution. That is everything for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe, and activate notifications. I will see you in the next video.